Yo, what up? It's your man Danger Dan, and I have returned with the next tier list in our Dangerous Strength tier list series. So, I'm not gonna lie, I did a tier list 2 days ago on a different series. It was a different tier list. It wasn't this one. I have the worst luck with recording tier lists. Like I can't even call it luck. I have to call it negligence because it's kind of my fault. But it's not really my fault because there was no way that I could have known what was going on. So the last tier list I did, it was a much longer video than the Naruto tier list, and that shit, the entire time, there was no sound coming through the video. So I was sitting here talking, thinking that everything was all good. I was checking the recording and everything, like I'm finna do right now, because now I'm just always paranoid about it. But yeah, I was checking the recording, and like, yo, I didn't even notice that the sound bar from my microphone wasn't jumping on OBS. This shit right here. See this? I didn't notice that this wasn't moving. It's probably because I'm an idiot. Anyway, we're here with the next tier list. It's not the last tier list that I did because my patience was just gone. So as you can see, based on the characters here, we got a Jujutsu Kaisen tier list. I decided to do this one because Jujutsu Kaisen is pretty popular right now, and I like it myself. It's okay. It's a pretty decent anime. The story is like, if you've read a lot of manga or watched a lot of anime, then you're gonna see a lot of similarities in that story to other stories, like a lot of similarities. But you know, it's still pretty cool. The anime is pretty dope because of the animation. Animation is like really getting crazy these days. So anyway, this tier list, first and foremost, is gonna be based off the manga, not the anime. So if you not read the manga and watch the anime, it's gonna be some spoilers in here. So I wouldn't watch this. Now that I've said that, this tier list is gonna be based off the same as the Naruto tier list. Now, of course, because of the way the story is, they make it plain and clear that Gojo is above all. So he's clearly in his own tier. Nobody's on his level. But right under him would be Sukuna, because they make it seem like Sukuna is at Gojo's level, but he's not currently. But nobody's on Sukuna's level either. So Sukuna will be right under Gojo. So they both got their own tiers. They're not there yet, but you know. Yeah, so if you liked the Naruto tier list, if you're fucking with this one, I gotta start saying this at the beginning of the video. Make sure you leave a like on the video if you fuck with it. Leave a comment if you got anything to say about anything that I said. And you know, if you're new to the channel, subscribe so that you can see more tier lists and be around for when this filler arc is over. Alright, that being said, should be able to start. So yeah, the tiers are the same as Naruto, except I took out the D tier. So we got triple S for the people that aren't as good as Gojo or Sukuna, obviously, but they still way better than everybody else. There's a couple of people at that level. Double S for the people that are closer to the triple S characters but couldn't beat them in a one-on-one. They would probably need help, but they could beat everybody else in a one-on-one. S tier probably being anyone. The bare minimum for S tier would probably be anybody who could make their own domain, since you know that's one of the highest levels of skills that they have here. I mean, anybody with any special conditions. A tier would just be the average characters. B tier would be the early on characters, because they have every character here. So B tier would be the early on characters that got smoked. C tier would be the characters that are even worse than the B tier characters, if that's even possible. And of course, you got Purgatory, which is for the non-fighters, characters that haven't done anything, characters that they've only talked about. Sometimes I think hearsay is enough to make you to get you a good placement in the tier list, but I'm not sure. Anyway, let's begin. So first off, they got this mustache dude. I don't remember his name. But who fought him? Yuji and Megumi fought him. He was okay, I guess. They ended up beating him. He wasn't really that impressive. He had a interesting gimmick. That was about it. I definitely moved that earlier. Hold on, let me see something. Anyway, he had a pretty interesting gimmick. What was it? Oh, right. I think it was that he couldn't lose to people, or rather he couldn't be damaged by people that were stronger than him. It was something weird like that. and then they had to make themselves weaker than him somehow, and they ended up beating him. He was just like a minor guy. Next we got Choso. So now I'm not sure if Choso has his own domain. He hasn't used it yet, but honestly I feel like he's double S. So he beat Yuji fair and square, which wasn't like, that's kind of impressive, you know, because they give Yuji a lot of credit, of course, him being the main character and all. But he beat Yuji, and he also was gonna beat I forgot this nigga's name. It was the dude who's currently leading the Zenin clan. I forget his name, but he was really fast, and he was a special grade sorcerer. And Choso managed to get the upper hand on him. He didn't beat him because he ended up getting knocked out by someone else, but he was fighting on pretty even ground with that dude. Next we got Dagon. So Dagon was actually pretty fucking strong. He had his own domain, and he took on 3 sorcerers at once. He ended up getting smoked, but yeah, he's double S. I wouldn't put him triple S. He's stronger than Choso. That much is it seemed that way anyway. So he fought Maki, fucking Nanami, and he fought the old man, the picture frame man from the Zenin clan. He fought all 3 of them. He had them in his domain. He was smoking them. It was pretty free. Megumi had to come in and save them, and even that wasn't enough. But then his pop showed up, and oh man, it was clipped after that. Next we got the ghetto statue, or rather the Shikigami statue that Megumi summoned, trying to save his ass. It didn't end up working because that shit almost killed him too. So I forget what this shit was named. I forget his name specifically. As a matter of fact, hold on. His name is Maharaga. That's his name. So my bad for not knowing his name initially. So this is Maharaga. He's basically the strongest Shikigami that you can summon, but no one's ever tamed him. So he was really, really fucking strong. So his ability, I don't know if you call it an ability or a gimmick, but his ability was that he could adapt to any attack that he was hit by. And technically he had 8 lives. So if you were strong enough to hit him, which was very difficult, then he would adapt to your strength and speed. He would adapt to the strength and speed of whatever you hit him with, and he would just continuously get stronger. So no body was ever able to tame this nigga. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody other than Sukuna or Gojo at the time could have beaten that nigga Maharaga. So he's definitely triple S, because he would smoke anybody below him. Because even if you figure out what his gimmick is, you got to keep hitting him with stronger and stronger attacks. He had 8 lives, so you had to hit him with 8 different attacks, and each of those attacks have to be stronger than the last attack. And you got to defend against him, because this nigga ain't just going to stand there and let you hit him. He's going to get stronger as he fights you. If you think of him, he's like Doomsday. That's exactly what he's like. He's like Doomsday. A lot like Doomsday. Next we got Choso's younger brother. He got smoked pretty early on, honestly. He got smoked by Nobara, right? Yeah, Nobara ended up smoking him. He wasn't all that, honestly. Not really anything to talk about. This is the first special grade that they fought. So I think I will put this first special grade S tier, because the special grades that showed up after him were way more impressive. But this nigga was pretty strong, but at the same time, he showed up at the very beginning. Like the Yuji, the version of Yuji and Megumi that he fought weren't even worth fighting at the time. And I think the current versions of the 2 of them would bop this nigga, but he's still stronger than these 2 here. Like he's still stronger than A tier, even though Sukuna smoked him. But Sukuna smokes everybody. So next we got the old man, principal from the other school, the Tokyo school. He was fighting this fucking random ass coat rack nigga, but they didn't show the fight, and he didn't win. So I don't really know where to place him. You would assume he's strong because he's the principal. So I guess that would make him S tier. But he didn't really do anything. Not enough for me to like adequately say he's strong or not. But because of his position, he would have to be strong, assumingly so. So whatever. Next we got Ghetto. I think by assumption Ghetto would be triple S because, you know, he's the mastermind. So I guess by assumption he would be stronger than all the niggas that were below him, because technically they didn't realize it, but he was manipulating them all. So I guess he would be stronger than them all. I don't think he's as strong as Sukuna, but he might get to be. The nigga that's possessing him is like supposed to be some real crazy nigga, but we'll see. I don't have enough knowledge on that guy. But regardless of whether or not he's stronger than Sukuna, he's definitely not stronger than Gojo, because apparently nobody is stronger than Gojo. So Gojo, you know him. You probably really like him as a character. He's pretty cool. So he got the 6 eyes. He got the fucking infinity, which is hard to describe, but it's a lot like space. You know, he's kind of just like manipulating space, you know. So they don't always accurately describe what it is that makes him so much better than everybody else, but you can see that he's faster than stronger than everybody, and like his strength is definitely no joke, because who was it that he fought? Hanami. So Hanami was a special grade. He was in Mahito's crew. So Hanami showed up in the anime, right? He was stronger than Yuji and Toto as they were fighting him together, and he should have been like you, or rather she should have been. I forget. Hanami's a girl. She should have been, right? You would expect that. So she didn't even expand her domain. She was about to, and when she just when she was about to, Gojo blasted her, and yeah, it was time to run because all of these niggas are scared of Gojo. So they wanted to get rid of him, right? Ghetto and his little gang, Mahito and all these niggas. They wanted to get rid of Gojo. So everybody's just, so Jogo's just like, yo, we should kill him. And it's just like, well, I mean, you could try, but you probably can't. And he's like, nah, I could definitely do it. And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't try it. We should just seal him. You know, we put him in this prison box and he won't be able to get out. And he's like, nah, fuck the prison box. Let's just fight him. And he's just like, yo, I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. So Jogo goes to fight Gojo. That was in the anime. He got smoked. Gojo could have killed him, but these niggas ended up saving him. Now, I brought up Hanami because when they trapped these niggas in the Shibuya station, and they got Gojo surrounded, and they got all of these people around, so he can't actually fight, because if he does, he's going to kill all the people that surrounded him. He got free for a moment. For a moment. It was legit 2 panels. He didn't even use a move. It was 2 panels. He teleported from, like, he didn't move that far. He didn't move that far, but he moved really fucking fast. From one panel, he was looking in one direction. The next panel, he was looking at Hanami. One shot at her. He just completely annihilated her. They didn't even show the move that he used against her. She was just dead. She was a stain on the wall. She was completely dead. And it was just like, whoa. So you think about it, it's like when you see a character that other characters struggle with, and then you see other characters in the series perform against them, it's a good measuring stick on how strong certain characters are in comparison to others. So every now and then they try to show you how strong Gojo is, but he's too strong. Feel me? Which is why they took him out of the story. He's too strong. If he's around, there's no point to anybody else being around, right? And they say that he's stronger than Sukuna, but if Sukuna gets all his fingers, who knows how strong he is? They make it seem like these niggas are unbeatable in a lot of cases. You know, they make it seem like nobody's ever gonna pass Gojo, because nobody ever has. There hasn't been anybody stronger than him. Next we got the old lady who did the summoning spell. She didn't actually fight. She was kind of just there. So we just gonna put her in C tier. She was like, it was her skill that ended up bringing Toki back to life, but she didn't actually fight again, and he ended up killing her before she could do anything. This was the dude from the past that Nanami couldn't save. He hasn't actually fought. This is the nigga they're going to look for now. He's the third year that they mentioned with Akotsu, that he's supposed to be super strong, but he hasn't shown up. They're going to find him now, but I don't know how strong he is. They talk like he's really strong. If he's as strong as Akotsu, then he should be close to Gojo's level. Next we got Hanami. So I think Hanami was triple S. I think Hanami was stronger than Dagon. But I don't think I'm not sure. Hanami might have been as strong as Jogo, because Jogo is definitely triple S. Jogo was pretty impressive. But Hanami was pretty strong. She had her own domain. She held her own against Yuji and Todo. She wasn't really like struggling against them. She wasn't fighting seriously the whole time. Once she finally decided to use her domain, that was when the fight ended. And you already know what the domain is. Pretty much the cheapest thing that you can have. Once somebody's in your territory, or your strongest attack is a sure thing. Like, they can't dodge it. It's going to hit them. Feel me? Because it's not going to come at them. It's just going to be like, they're just going to be hit. There's a couple of defenses against it, and there's a couple of characters who can defend against it. But even those characters that they've shown defending against it, they still struggle inside somebody's domain. Oh gosh, I just saw this nigga's name the other day, but I forgot it again. He's the dude. His power was that he was really lucky, but he ended up dying on some innocent bystander shit. He's not really important, honestly. He fought Nobara, but he ran from her when he fought her. And then he fought... he ran from Nanami as well. And then he ran into Sukuna, and that was pretty much it. You know how that ended. Next, we got the secretary dude. I forget his name too, but he's not a fighter. Ino, they make it seem like Ino's strong. Like, at most, he would be A tier. You know, but he hasn't actually been shown fighting, so there's no telling how strong he is. But you know, I think he's a second-year student, but I think he's average at most. Like, even if he does fight, he would be average at most. Utsuhime, she's a teacher, so you would assume she's strong, but Gojo makes it seem like she's like the weakest among the teachers. So I guess at minimum she would be S tier, maybe like bottom S tier. Or maybe high A tier. She's another one. She hasn't fought. Like, they just haven't shown her fight. So I don't know how strong she is. But I would assume she would be somewhere around bottom S tier, maybe. If she wasn't bottom S tier, she would be high A tier. Next you got Yuji. So this might be a bit of a hot take. But considering everything that's happening currently, I think Yuji is double S. So listen, he pulls off Black Flash pretty damn often, right? And it was to the point where Black Flash was the only thing that was going to work against Mahito when they were fighting him at the end. And even though it was just him and Todo fighting him, Yuji honestly did most of the work. Todo was kind of just there supporting him. And now, after he fought Mahito, and after he went through being possessed by Sukuna again, he got a lot more control over his I almost called it spiritual pressure. He got a lot more control over his cursed energy, and he was smoking a whole lot of cursed spirits. Now him and Choso are moving together, so they're not gonna fight again. But when he went up against Akotsu, like, you would expect Akotsu to smoke him, you know, but he mentioned that he was holding back against him, like Akotsu. He mentioned that Yuji was holding back against him. He made it seem like if Yuji was actually trying to fight him, the fight would have gone differently than it went. So because of that, and because of all the shit that he was doing towards the end, I think he's double S. I definitely think he's high in the S tier. Jogo. So I think Jogo is triple S. I don't think that's too much of a debate. I think he had the most impressive performance outside of maybe Mahito. I don't really like Mahito. I feel like he's a really lazy character. he's just there. Feel me? He's just there to be there. We'll get to him. But so against Maharaga and Jogo did the best against Sukuna. Right? There was the Jogo did pretty well against Sukuna. He ended up losing, of course, but he did the best against him. And when he decided to fight after Dagon had gotten killed, he smoked all three of no, who was it that dodged his attack? The old man. The old man was the only one who dodged the attack, but he ended up getting hit anyway. He had smoked all three of the first grade and special grade sorcerer that had just finished fighting Dagon, because this nigga Toki had showed up and saved the day. He one-shotted all three of them, and he moved faster than any of them could react to. Although they were somewhat injured, I feel like that would have happened even if they weren't injured. And he was able to keep up with Sukuna. That's automatically a feat. Junpei. I mean, Junpei was just they made it seem like he was gonna be important, but he wasn't. This coat rack nigga. I guess I would put him here. He was just a guy. Gojo one-shotted him the way he one-shots everybody. So this is the dude that's possessing Geto. So there's no need for me to place him, because technically he is Geto. I forget his name, but he's from the past. He might not even end up being the mastermind, but they paint him as the mastermind currently. So I mean, like I said, technically he's Geto right now. So yeah, there's no need to really talk about it. Next we got this nigga Kano. I would definitely put him somewhat A tier, I guess. I don't know. He fought in the exam, but when Hanami showed up, nobody could really do anything except for Inumaki. And the only reason why he could do anything is because of the nature of his ability, and he wasn't actually doing damage to Hayami. I don't know who this is, but I know this is a transfigured human. I don't know who this masked guy is either. Matter of fact, I know who he is. I don't know his name, but I know he hasn't fought. Oh, this is the lazy nigga that was helping them protect Shibuya Station. So he was slightly stronger than the second grade. He's low tier first grade sorcerer. If I'm not mistaken, this is the dude that got possessed by Toki. He was another one. He didn't actually man, I mean, I guess he did fight. It was his body that they needed for Granny's technique. So if I gotta rank her, I gotta rank him too. But honestly, he's not someone you'll remember, because once Toki took him over, you would have thought it was just Toki. And even when Toki died, he still had overwritten the body. So it was just this guy just completely ceased to exist. If I'm not mistaken, his face, which I'm pretty sure I'm not. Let me look again. Yeah, I'm not mistaken, his face. Yeah, I'm not mistaken, his face. Alright. For some reason, they have two pictures of Geto. You see they got young Geto? I'm not using that picture. I don't know why they have this here. It's really strange. Maybe, never mind. Anyway, so Mahito would be triple S. Because for some reason, they have a picture of him, and they have a picture of how he looked in his final form, which is this here. So I don't really know which one of those should well, honestly, it wasn't really too much of a difference. I'm just gonna count them as both. So he ended up being pretty strong towards the end, but he still lost. He lost, but Yuji wasn't the one that finished him. He might have been able to. They made it seem like it was reaching that point. But Mahito, he had a real cheap ability. So the only person his ability didn't work on was Yuji. If he touches you, he can transform your soul and basically just take you out of the fight. He can kill you in one shot as long as he gets his hand on you. And then, of course, when he opened up his domain, it's automatic that he's going to get his hand on you. He ended up bopping Nanami. And it looks like he bopped Nobara as well. And him and Yuji were fighting, and Todo came to help. Pretty much the same scenario as it was against Hayami. Todo, he was basically support, like I was saying, when him and Yuji were fighting Mahito. But Mahito kept getting stronger. He managed to expand his domain again. He had reached another form, which is the final form that I mentioned that I just showed here. Because, like I said, for some reason they had the picture for that too. And at that point, the only thing that was working on him was Black Flash. Literally, that was the only way they could hurt him. So they ended up hitting him with one. His transformation broke, but they didn't kill him. Geto ended up showing up and absorbing him. So regardless of that, he was still like, I think he would have been able to keep up with Sukuna if he got the chance to fight him. He always had to fight Yuji. He never actually got the chance to fight Sukuna, but you could assume that he was as strong as Jogo and Hayami. So if Jogo could keep up with Sukuna, then it's safe to assume that Mahito would have been able to as well. Not to mention Mahito, outside of Yuji, was smoking everybody else that he fought. He definitely smoked Mekamaru's bum ass. I would say Mai is A tier. Her ability's pretty cool. I mean, she's not as good as Maki. Maki's definitely S tier. You already know about Maki. She has no curse technique, but she got the physical boost that puts her pretty much ahead of everybody else. But they keep her at a low grade just because her family keeps getting in the way of her promotion. So just because she was 4th grade, or well, I think she was 3rd grade when they introduced her in the show, she's supposed to be a 1st grade. So that alone would make her S tier, even though she got smoked by Dagon in his domain. Everybody that was in the domain was getting smoked. Domains are unfair. Mekamaru. I don't think Mekamaru is S tier. That much for certain. Because he got smoked by Panda. Feel me? And even when he was in this form, he didn't get any stronger. Like once he got restored back to his human form, he didn't get any stronger. He just had like a Gundam-sized version of his old robot form. And Mahito one-shotted it once he got a good enough hit. It was like really annoying. He's A tier for sure. I think he'd be stronger than Maki. I don't think he'd be stronger than his name starts with an N. It pisses me off. Hold on. Kamo. That's his name. Right. So I think I don't think he's stronger than Kamo. They made it seem like Kamo was the strongest one out of outside of Toto. Of the group of students that showed up from the Tokyo school. And none of them were that impressive, honestly. And they haven't really shown them in the later arc, so I'm not sure if they've improved or not. And it honestly doesn't seem like they're going to be in the story anytime soon, really. But whatever. Why am I still talking about bum-ass Mekamaru? Megumi. So I think Megumi's S tier. I think by the end of the series, he'll end up being one of the strongest characters. They make it seem like he's going to end up being real strong. Especially Gojo. Gojo tries to make it seem like Megumi could be at his level because of the nature of his technique, 10 Shadows. Megumi's my favorite character in Jujutsu. So you know he got his own domain now, and that shit's pretty broad. Like he hasn't mastered it yet, but he has it. Once he does master it, that's just gonna be a problem. Sukuna seems to have plans for him, so there's no telling what those are. But he has a way of like constantly escaping death. Like I think he's probably gonna be close to dying pretty often throughout the series, but he's not actually gonna die. He's pretty solid. Alright, so next we got Mei. So Mei, she's probably S tier, like high S tier. She had took down one of the cursed spirits that she had took down a special grade that Geto summoned. Fucking smallpox deity. I'm not sure if that shit was strong enough to be double S, because there's not too many double S in the series, and honestly I think everybody that's in triple S is probably the last of the characters triple S except for Kotsu. And like I don't know, like the Mahito placement is still like pretty iffy to me. And just because Jogo was able to keep up with Sukuna doesn't mean Hayami would have been able to. Hayami got one shot by Gojo. Not that that's anything to be ashamed of, but I don't know. Maybe it should, yeah. It's just thinking about it, by that definition, you would have to put Yuji triple S. But nah, Yuji was only able to hurt Mahito with one attack. So maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Alright, whatever. I'm not going to dwell too much on it. Yeah, let me know what you think by the end of this. Let's see. Purgatory. Purgatory. No, get out of here. Wait, that was on the broom. I don't remember her name. She wasn't important. You can throw her in the A tier. Purgatory. So Nanami definitely S tier. Nanami's my guy. It sucks how he went out, but Nanami's definitely my guy. I mean, I don't think it's any question that he's S tier. He was able to fight Mahito. Unfortunately, Mahito's ability is cheap as fuck. So, like, it's funny how he has the ability where all he has to do is touch you, and he can transfigure you. In a series where most fights are hand to hand, it seems really unfair. But hey, next we got the old man from the Zenin clan. So he was a special grade sorcerer. He was pretty strong. I don't know if he'd be double S. He might be, actually. He was able to keep up with Dagon even after Dagon had opened up his domain. He was the only one that was able to dodge the attacks. He wasn't able to dodge them for long, but he was still able to dodge them, and he didn't get fucking completely destroyed by Dagon's attack the way Nanami and Maki did. Maki, oh man, they violated Maki, especially after she got fucking blasted by this nigga Jogo. When you get damaged in this series, you stay damaged, but the damage you take, it remains. Purgatory, she didn't fight, she was like the advisor. I'm not sure if Nobara is S tier. I'm gonna put her high A tier. She might be at the top of A tier. Yeah, maybe. So they make it seem like she's dead. I'm not sure if she's dead. I don't think she is. But they make it seem like she is. Like I said, Mahito got a clean shot off on her when Yuji asked Megumi about her after they met up again. He wouldn't answer him, so he just assumed that she's dead. I don't know. Regardless, if she is dead, then that's unfortunate. She's gonna stay where she at. But she had the of course she had the potential to get stronger. She was in the main team. She was in Team 7. She was more useful than Sakura though. Was early on anyway. But she didn't really take out anybody that was like way beyond her level. All the cursed spirits she fought were pretty much within her range. She pulled those Black Flash the one time, but she only did it the one time. And after that, like I said, Mahito got his hands on her, and that was pretty much it. Man, I really don't like seeing Mahito in Triple S. I really feel like it's just like, if you're not Yuji, then you really can't fuck with Mahito, because he touches you one time, you literally die. He just transfigures your soul. You can't do anything about it. Like, he wouldn't be able to touch Gojo. He wouldn't even be able to get close to him, and Gojo wouldn't have to touch him to kill him. And the only person in the fucking series, or rather the only people that Mahito was fighting in the series, he fought Nanami, he fought Yuji, he fought Mekamaru. Who else did he fight? That was it. Yeah. Like, that was pretty much the only characters he fought. He fought, his clone fought Nobara, and her ability happened to be like a perfect counter to his ability. But that's a matchup, dependent thing. You take that matchup away, even if she has that, he gets one hit on her. He doesn't even have to actually do damage to her. He just has to touch her. He touches her and it's a wrap. And it's not some condition where it's like, oh, he has to get all 5 of his fingers on her. Like Killer Queen. He only has to make contact with her. After that, boom, soul transfigured. If you're a regular human, you have no defense against his ability. Let's see, Panda. Panda definitely pretty high A tier. Smoked Mekamaru. That much is for certain. All right. So, this is the curse form of one of the characters, Rika. She was in the Zero story that explained why Akotu wasn't like at the school, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't really know where to place her. I think I just put her in Purgatory. Next we got the Star Plasma Vessel. She's definitely Purgatory. She didn't fight. Next, hold on. Let me make sure I get these names right. All right, we got Shoko next. She also hasn't fought. She's just like, she heals with her reverse curse technique. Sukuna, of course, in his own damn tier. So they finally showed a little bit of what Sukuna could do, and like I said, he smoked Mahoraga, whom you have to kill at least 8 times, and he has to be killed with a stronger attack each time you kill him, right? Something extremely cheap for batteries dying. Look at that. Something really difficult to get around. Sukuna managed to get around it and did it without using all of his abilities, right? And then he fought Jogo. So Jogo was able to drop a meteor on the fucking city, and Sukuna was able to dodge a meteor. Like, I don't really know what to call dodging a meteor. I don't know if that's a matter of speed or what, but Sukuna managed to not get hit by the meteor. Like, the meteor came down, Sukuna was standing on top of it, and then he ended up smoking Jogo. So Sukuna hasn't even been like remotely challenged, you know. Like, Mahoraga surprised him because of its ability, but outside of that, the only person that Sukuna seems to be interested in actually defeating is Gojo. So yeah, nobody else would be able to touch Sukuna. Mahito decided he was going to try and use his ability on Yuji, and Sukuna wasn't even in possession of Yuji at the time, and he one-shotted Mahito, made him run off. So it stands to reason he would have done that to him again if they fought. Even though Mahito did keep getting stronger as the series was going on, man, I don't know. It feels like by that perspective, I would have to put Yuji in Triple S. Nah, I don't think so. Alright, next we got Todo. So I think Todo is just S tier. I don't think he's like ridiculous, especially now. He's been nerfed pretty severely. I don't know if they'll be able to fix his hand, but his ability is pretty cheap. He could clap and switch places with anything that he sees. As far as physicals go, the only person who seems to be able to like keep up with him is Yuji. Of course, again, Gojo doesn't count, but I think Nanami would be able to keep up with him. I actually think Nanami would be able to beat him. Maki needed help fighting him. She wasn't able to do it by herself, but Maki's pretty up there when it comes to physicals. So if they had a serious one-on-one fight, I don't know how it would go, honestly. I think Maki got a pretty good shot, but I don't think Toto's like too crazy, you know. I don't think he's too crazy. Next we got Inumaki. So his ability makes him S tier. Of course, his physicals aren't like up there, but I guess they don't really need to be, because with the nature of his ability, they haven't really shown what the limit of it is, like how, like rather the extent, how far, like how much he could really do. But he's still pretty impressive with it. All you gotta do is talk, and like things happen, pretty much, with his cursed speech. So I think because of that, he would be pretty strong. But outside of that, I'm not sure. Like, he was able to repel Hanami, but she came right back. Next you got Toki. So he's definitely Triple S. So he fought Gojo in the past when he was still a kid, and he killed him, or almost killed him. I guess he kind of did kill him. Like, Gojo did die. So he was the reason why Gojo is as strong as he is, because of him, because of losing to him and then coming back and beating him. Gojo started training, because he always had the abilities that he had, but he never trained. He just had a whole bunch of talent. Once he started training that was when he got as crazy as he is now, because he actually started working hard, and that was because of Toki. So Toki was basically the final version of what Maki pretty much will be. So he was just like her. He didn't have any cursed energy, but he had the heavenly body. So he's basically a superhuman. This nigga was a problem. I mean, he was a serious problem. And like when he fought Gojo, even after, so the first time that he ran into him, it was pretty free. The second time, when Gojo got the upper hand on him, it was still a close fight. And then he came back after possessing the granny's grandson, whom isn't the person that's next to her, mind you. I got that wrong. Regardless of me getting that wrong, her grandson would still be right next to her, but his picture actually isn't here, funny enough. I didn't get anything else wrong though. I got this wrong. This guy is one of the soldiers from the Curse Organization Q, but that was from the past. That was from the flashback that they showed in Gojo for Gojo. So I don't really know how strong these dudes are. I guess I could put them A tier because they didn't really do anything. They were kind of just there. They were kind of just cannon fodder. So I would just put them A tier. And the Q organization doesn't exist anymore. So I as a matter of fact, I might actually put them in purgatory. No. I'll leave them A tier. This is May's brother. He doesn't fight. He's kind of a part of her technique. So I wouldn't really classify him as a character. He's kind of just there. Another mistake I made. This is not a transfigured human. This is Kechizu. He and Eso, Choso's younger brothers. So they lost to Yuji and Obara, but I mean, because you would assume that they were slightly strong because they were paintings from the Death Womb, and they make it seem like the Death Womb paintings are slightly higher than the average cursed spirit. So I would put them pretty high A tier, but they lost to Nobara and Yuji, and it wasn't really that close either. So that's one amendment. We got next Negi. Purgatory. He didn't fight. This guy's name is actually Lore. Didn't fight. Purgatory. Alright, so this is the principal for their school, Yaga. So you would assume again that he's strong because he's the principal of Jujutsu Ha. And he's not as strong as Gojo, of course, but he's the only person that Gojo seems to listen to. But there's not too much to say about him outside of his position as the principal. Next we got Yuki. So she's special grade, which would kind of make her double S. She hasn't fought, but they make it seem like she cut from the same cloth as Gojo and Akotsu. And funny enough, Akotsu being next. So Akotsu, even though he's only a second year, he's still special grade. He like knocked Choso out in one hit. Even though he hit him from behind, he knocked him out in one hit still. And Choso was looking pretty impressive. This old man's name is now Obito, by the way. So they make it seem like, well, as a matter of fact, Akotsu might actually be triple S the way they talk about him. They talk about him as if he's directly under Gojo. Like directly under. And Yuji, for some reason, thinks that Akotsu would be strong enough to beat Sukuna if Sukuna was able to possess Yuji again. So he might actually be a little higher. I don't know if he'd be able to take out Maharaga. He might be able to if he fought full power. He has a Shikigami as well. And his Shikigami was way stronger than Yuji. Like, Yuji couldn't break its grip. And then he killed Yuji. Then he brought him back to life. It's funny, there's nobody in B tier. Let me get Shorty's name exactly. Right, Miwa. Kasumi. Alright, so Miwa, she fought Maki, but Maki like really smoked her. She might actually be the one sole B tier character. Might have to put Mekamaru's on as in B tier. Actually, I might have to put Maya in B tier as well. So like the big three, alright, Team 7, they were the ones who have been growing. This girl's name is Momo, not Broom. I think Kamo would still be A tier because he did contribute against Hayami. He managed to hurt Hanami when he got a clean hit. But outside of that, it was a 3-on-1, and Inumaki was doing most of the work. For some reason, they have Mekamaru here again. Him as a robot this time. So him as a robot was kind of weaker than him as a human, I guess. I don't really think they should be considered separate characters, but he did do more once he had gotten restored. So for the sake of that, I'll allow him to be considered in a different light. Is the Curse Plague special grade. Curse Plague King. Being a special grade would make him S tier, but he lost to Mei in a 1-on-1. So, but being a special grade would still make him S tier, honestly. Special grades are rather exceptional. Next, we got Mekamaru's giant robot. Again, I'm not sure why this is here, but this got fucking completely decimated by Mahito, so I'm not even sure if this even matters. I'll throw it in purgatory. This is one of the spirits that Geto had summoned. It's a special grade. All of the spirits he summons a special grade. One of the 16 special grade spirits that they have in the academy. So by that alone, it would be S tier. I'm not sure where S tier though, but it would be slightly high. Again, special grades are exceptional. Finger Bearer, I don't think Finger Bearer would be stronger than Mei. Next, we got Mahito in his final form. As I mentioned before, so we'll continue to mention. I'm not sure why they got separate pictures for it, but we'll just throw it here in purgatory. Just know this is Mahito. And yeah, you see that they pretty much just repeat all the pictures again. So you can just ignore the rest I see, except for this one. This dude, I think he's the current leader of the Zenin clan. But he hasn't actually fought. And funny enough, they got this clown here too. His picture wasn't a repeat. Hold on, I just saw his face. I haven't memorized his name yet because he's one of the new characters. Naoya. Yeah, so he's like the youngest brother in the Zenin clan, and he's like supposed to be inheriting it. He's scheming on Megumi right now because Megumi's supposed to be the one to inherit the Zenin clan. But he was keeping up with Choso pretty adequately. So if I would have Choso at double S, I would have to put him there too. Choso is the only example that I would have of his strength because he fought Choso. But he wasn't as strong as Okotsu. That much was certain. And then we got this dude with the fucking X on his forehead. He's another member of the Zenin clan. Jinichi. He hasn't fought anyone. So I'm just going to throw him in purgatory. You would assume he's strong because he got a high seat in the clan. But I'm just going to throw him in purgatory. And then we got another member of the Zenin clan. She was one of the, who's this? Ogi. So again, she got a high seat, but she was just talking. They haven't actually fought. The story hasn't gotten that far yet. So let me make sure I got everything right here. I think I do. I think this is a pretty solid tier list of the characters so far. Like I said, Gojo is in a tier of his own. Sukuna is as well, but Sukuna hasn't shown that he's as strong as Gojo yet. Even though he probably will be by the time he gets off all the fingers. But, I mean, he hasn't gotten them yet. And, yeah. So, let me make sure. Alright, everything seems to still be working. Alright, cool. So hopefully this tier list was as informative. Well, it definitely wouldn't be as informative as Naruto because I got way more information for Naruto than I have for Jujutsu because the series hasn't finished yet. But I figured I'd make the tier list anyway because this is a relevant anime, and this is one that people will probably be more inclined to have an opinion, to share their opinion on, and be more interested to see more of the characters if they haven't watched the manga. And if you haven't watched the manga, hopefully this one probably would get you to. So yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, make sure you leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Comment if you got anything that you want to say. I highly encourage it. And subscribe to the channel if you are new. And with all that being said, it's your man Dan signing off, but not before reminding you, it's a dangerous world out there, but so are you.